Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. My name is Eric Mothersbaugh. I'm the Dean of Student Affairs at ICO, and my pleasure to welcome you all to the White Coat Ceremony honoring the class of 2025. Thanks for being here. For those that are unable to be with us in person today, that would like to be viewing from home, we've got live streams on ICO's Facebook feed and YouTube channel, and there's a link to it from our Instagram bio. So whatever your loved one's preferred platform is, you can find us. So feel free to send that along to those that aren't able to be here. Thank you for your time today. I'd like to begin by introducing the president of ICO, Dr. Mark Collett.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Eric. I'd like to welcome the parents and friends that have taken time to join us here this afternoon for this, as we ceremonially recognize the lives and careers of the ICO class of 2025. I also welcome our alumni, faculty, staff, students, as well as those of you that are watching via the streaming services. It's truly a joy to be able to be together here today for this auspicious event in the lives of these students. The white coat ceremony is a relatively modern ritual that recognizes and celebrates your transition from didactic or classroom learning into a more clinical learning in the healthcare sciences. It actually originated just down the street here at the University of Chicago Pritzker School of Medicine in 1989. We've been doing a white coat ceremony here at ICO since 2000. And one of the things that we'll talk about today a little bit, certainly I will, is the fact that clinical training and education in the health sciences, as you're soon going to find out, is quite different from what you've previously experienced in education and all that you've done through grade school, junior high, high school, and your undergraduate years. You've all become very proficient at attending class, at studying, taking notes, memorizing things, participating in laboratory exercises, and then sitting down to study and memorize those facts so that you can spit them back on a written test on a designated date at a specific place. And you're typically amply prepared for those types of exercises. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You've been very proficient in those things. But of course, you'll be continuing to do that for another couple of years, in addition to the clinical learning that is now going to be taking place. And some of you have already begun that. I've seen you coming and going from clinic already during this past week. Clinical education, though, in health science is going to take your education to a whole new level. You're going to be meeting and examining patients. You'll be guided by what you've been learning and will continue to learn. But clinical learning, as opposed to classroom, didactic, laboratory type learning, takes place in real time. And what you have to learn to do is to respond to what you're learning and what you're seeing on your feet, rather than necessarily having lots of time to think about it and what your response might be. And for some of you, that will be quite challenging. For others of you, it will be very natural, and you'll enjoy it very much. Clinical learning is going to require careful and dedicated preparation, just as you've been accustomed to in didactic learning. But I'll also say that clinical learning takes a bit of a leap of faith every day that you walk into the clinic or into that clinical setting. I can tell you from my personal experience that ICO's faculty are going to be with you every step of the way, and they'll get you up to speed and functioning in the clinical environment very quickly, certainly here at the Illinois Eye Institute, and then as your education continues, often externship locations literally scattered across the country, and for some of you in international locations and in hospital settings. Tell you a little story. A pharmaceutical rep told me a couple of years ago that of the 25 optometry schools here in the United States, that the faculty at 5 of those schools prescribe the vast majority of medications to treat eye disease here in this country. And the commonality that they had determined was the fact that those 5 schools were located in urban areas, which is not really a huge surprise because that's where the patients are. And my guess is that's a big part of why many of you chose Illinois College of Optometry and the Illinois Eye Institute to do your doctoral level education. I've always known for a long time, even when I was selecting what optometry school I wanted to attend, and I attended very proudly Illinois College of Optometry, but I knew for a long time that we saw a lot of very serious ocular disease here, and that was a main attracting point for me. And so my guess is that was probably something that interested many of you, and it's a big part of why you are here today and heading into this clinical type education that you'll benefit from for many, many years to come. Because of your decision to be here and the sheer numbers of the difficult cases that you're going to see here in the Illinois Eye Institute and throughout your career, The faculty, as you found out, even completing your first year didactically and in a laboratory setting, they're going to push you very hard. They're going to want you to maximize your education and maximize your time and knowledge and the learning that you have for the very short time relatively to your entire career that you're going to be with us. And in that short time period, you're going to find you're going to become extraordinarily proficient in the management, the diagnosis, and the treatment plans that you're going to develop for those very serious cases that you're going to be seeing. And I'll tell you a little story about a fourth-year student that just a couple of years ago was sharing with me about an experience that she had, not while she was here, but on her first externship rotation. And so for all of you, you know that first externship rotation is going to happen literally just short of 2 years from now for all of you. That's summer between third and fourth year, what actually becomes the first term of your fourth year. And so she was on this externship site, and she'd been assigned a patient. It was actually a young boy. And she went into the room, and it was this young boy in the room whose father happened to be in the room. And the father turned out, from talking and from her doing her case history, was actually an emergency room physician, so very knowledgeable person in healthcare. He certainly understood her role as an optometry student there in examining his son. And so what the father told her was that he had noticed that his son had a little white spot in his eye at a very young age. And from his medical training, medical school and residency, and his work in the emergency room, he had made the diagnosis that the son most likely had what's called a cataract, a congenital cataract. And it's true, as you all either have learned or will be learning soon, that some children are actually born with cataracts, or they can develop them very early. The father went on to tell the student that, he really wished she would kind of speed the exam up, because all they really needed was the fact that he knew it was time for his son's cataract to be removed now. He was at the right age based on his training. And he really just needed a form filled out so that the insurance would cover the referral to the surgeon for the cataract removal. So the student did their job appropriately, completed the case history, examined the young man, and what she determined based on her ICO education at that point in time was that she really wasn't looking at a congenital cataract, but in her opinion, and again based on her ICO education, that it was something a bit more serious, something called a retinoblastoma. Certainly a much more serious diagnosis and condition than a congenital cataract. And so she was telling the father, I examined your son now. I need to go out and talk to my attending doctor and share what my findings are. My attending doctor will then come back in and verify my findings, and we'll be able to wrap things up here. And so, again, as she was kind of leaving the room then, the father again urged her, can we just speed things up here? I just need that form filled out, and let us get on our way so we can get the approval for the cataract surgery. So the ISO student left the room. She went out to the conference room and she consulted with her attending optometrist. She detailed her findings very clearly and very explicitly, and shared with her attending doctor what she felt her preliminary diagnosis was. And so the attending, looked at her and said, "Well, that's pretty serious stuff, right?" And she acknowledged, "Yes, but I'm pretty confident that's what it is." So they walked back into the room. The attending doctor did his examination of the young boy, confirmed that indeed the ICO student's diagnosis was correct, and they sat together and told the father that what he had actually been seeing in his son's eye was an aggressive form of cancer, something called retinoblastoma. The father instantly realized the error in making a diagnosis in something that was just a bit outside of his specialty area and scope or expertise. They agreed that the next step that needed to be done in care of the young man was that they needed to order an MRI. The MRI was ordered, and they confirmed that not only did this young patient have a retinoblastoma, but it metastasized to the boy's brain, and he likely had only 6 months to live. Pretty serious business. By being here today, you've all signed up for an education that's going to put extreme cases, just like that one potentially, right in front of you, and in very short time. And that's serious business indeed. I'm confident, though, by the fact that you're here. I know what all of you went through in qualifying for admission to ICO and working with our faculty during this past year to get to this point, to be entering your clinical education, that you're serious about your studies, and if you're confronted with a case like that, you'll be able to handle it just as well as that fourth-year student did in working with her faculty member and staff doctor. And you certainly owe it to your patients that you're going to see during the rest of your career to know your science, to know your craft, and to know it to the best of your abilities. And that's certainly our expectation here, that you're going to do that, because it is serious business indeed. So for me personally, I hope that you're all, what do we say? We all in, right? We're all in here for the education that you presented yourself for. I hope that you're here to maximize your education and your time with us, and that you're all going to strive to be the very best optometrist that you can possibly be. It's certainly going to require hard work. You've done hard work already, and I know that you can do it. But I also know that it's going to require you to go above and beyond kind of the standard, the average, everyday student-type activities, perhaps, that you've done in the past. You will actually only know your full responsibilities as a clinical optometrist with the diligent preparation that you're going to have to do every day that you present yourself for clinic here, and certainly during the rest of your time with us, and then as you go off into the externship program working in different environments. You're all going to have to continue to make sacrifices. You've made sacrifices to be here at ICO. You've made sacrifices during this past year. Many of you, because simply your age, a lot of your friends were probably off starting jobs, maybe getting married, having parties, traveling, and you were all right here. In fact, you were right here in this room, right, as first-year students. Now you're progressing, second-year students, and into the laboratories and into the clinical areas. You're making sacrifices for the patients that you're going to be taking care of this year and next year and for the rest of your practicing lifetime. And that's serious business, folks. But I know you're up for it. I know you can do it. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have subjected yourself to all that you have so far if you weren't up for that type of activity. So I personally look forward to watching all of you grow. One of my true great joys is watching you grow and expand your knowledge, and bumping into you in the hallway and hearing about clinical experiences that you've had, or interesting patient or something like that. And I encourage you, if you're by my office or anywhere in the neighborhood of where I'm at, please stop in. I love hearing about those types of things and talking about where your ICO education is taking you. So I say to you, as I think I said last year at orientation, my door certainly is open to you at any point in time. Some of you have taken advantage of that and stopped in. Others are maybe a little bit more shy about that, but I truly always enjoy hearing about your challenging cases and your work with the faculty in the Illinois Eye Institute. So I wish you a great year. I wish you a great year of learning, of growing, and becoming the great optometrists and doctors that we all know that you're capable of doing. So have a great year, and I thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce someone who went along this pathway a few years before you and even a couple of years before I did. He's an ICO graduate. He's a leader in our state and within our profession. And he's here today to talk to you and offer a welcome on behalf of the Illinois Optometric Association, Dr. Sam Forsley.
Thank you very much. First, on behalf of the Illinois Optometric Association, I want to congratulate all of you on receiving your white coat today. And secondly, let's be honest. What you're thinking right now is, boy, I hope this guy doesn't talk very long, because I told my friends after the ceremony, we're going to the VIG. Maybe you're taking your parents over to, Jesse's for a little bit. So we're going to make this short and brief. But really, today is about you. You've worked very hard, and you have the right to be thinking that way. You finished your first year with a lot of hard work, and now transition into the independence of diagnosing and treating patients on your own. All of this while learning from one of the top optometry schools in the country. So congratulations on your moment in time right now. But now imagine yourself 2 years from now. As you embark on a career as a doctor of optometry, I want you to know this is the time when the Illinois Optometric Association will be there to assist and help you transition into your professional career. I've been a member of the IOA since graduation, and I hope all of you become members as well. I joined the board of directors in 2017 and will be sworn in as chair-elect at our state convention in Springfield in late September. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. And our state convention is held late September. This year it's in Springfield. Next year it'll be in Chicago. There are many professional organizations and associations and groups you can join. However, joining the IOA is the only, and I repeat, only, association advocating for our profession. We will help you with employment contracts, whether you're in private practice, which I have been for 30 years, corporate optometry, which I also participated in, or maybe you come back here to ICO to teach. The IOA will help you with your malpractice insurance, health insurance, continuing education. The IOA continues to work and ensure fairness in contracts between doctors and insurers, to eliminate anti-competitive practice in healthcare, and to improve the overall quality of patient care. The IOA works directly with federal agencies to ensure that a contact lens continues to be recognized as a medical device and not some commodity as some retailers want to see. Joining the IOA is not just some organization to join because you feel it's something to do. We want you to be part of a much larger community that protects the one thing that we all have in common, and that's our license to practice. We fight on a daily basis to protect and expand the scope of optometry to ensure optometrists can practice to their highest level of training. We fight to get optometrists the highest reimbursements from Medicare and third-party payers. We fight to protect you from internet contact lens sellers and from Congress members that try to pass abusive vision plans. The IOA advocates for your interests on all legislative levels. You can rest knowing the rights of our profession are continuously being protected. And our mission statement is simple: protecting and advancing optometry for the benefit of public health. But we cannot do it without each and every one of you. We need you to get involved and join the IOA to protect everything that you have worked so very hard to achieve. We would love for all of you to come to the convention. We love talking to students. This year, as I mentioned, it's in Springfield. We'd love to give you guidance so you can achieve much success in optometry. So, as my favorite singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett says, trust your intuition and make the best of whatever comes your way. So congratulations, and if you see me at Joy District, I'm buying.
Thank you, Dr. Forsley and Dr. Collop. It is time to begin the receiving of the white coats, and I'll say that the white coat has a symbolic gesture. It doesn't serve as much of a functional purpose as it used to. We've made the switch to scrubs during the pandemic, and I would describe that as an unflippable switch back. People love the scrubs. But the coat that you're wearing, it's an important symbol. It shows your commitment to your patients. It shows that you are committing to a higher ethical standard than most. It shows that you are committing to a path of answering a call to service that's higher than most. So I ask that you take it seriously. At this time, I'd like to ask the first row of students to begin to approach the stage. And I'll say to those in the crowd, you're going to hear each name called one by one. I humbly request that you wait until all names have been held to offer applause. This group is going through this process together, and I think it's appropriate that they be celebrated together and every name have the chance to be heard. Ziad Abdelrahim. Emily Marie Gencarelli Albanese. Bayan Alaz. Mohammed Omar Anarwala. Christy Onjieski. Nora William Atala. Juliana Babich. Jenna Becerra. Donna Bayat Fard. Malika Bokhari. Aaron Bynum. Courtney Carmaine. Kiana Chung. Emily Chong. Christy Chung. Carly Clark. Dane Crouch. He'll be coded by his father, Dr. Craig Crouch, ICO class of 1990, and his grandfather, Dr. Don Crouch, ICO class of 1963. Phil Krupe. Annie Serwinski. Paul DeLakis, and he'll be coded by his father, Dr. Paul DeLakis, ICO class of 1988. Baljinder Derry. Grace Dilly. Kristen Lee Dillow. Lauren Disterhaft. Kylie Donahue. Cynthia Dupuy. Yalda Faze. Lana Galkina. Marissa Garrels. Javon Gibbs. Giovanni Gonzalez. Lena Hadar. Brant Hoggett. Wendy Shang-Yun Huang. Zhao Jing. Caroline Kazauka. Mariah Katzenberger. Sarah Kayali. Mondo Bati Kazadi. Amani Khan, and she'll be coded by her mother, Dr. Ghazali Ali, and her father, Dr. Ayaz Khan, ICO class of 1994. Kulon Huchit Batur. Vivian La. Patrick Lamb. Emily Lau. Rachel Lee, and she'll be coded by her mentor, Dr. Erica Ittner, ICO class of 2009. Joy Lin. Catherine Liu. Lena Liu. Douglas McDonald. Sarah McKeel. Greg Malishevsky. Lucia McElwain. Claire Myers. Christian Miklos. Jamie Nelson. Isabel Nguyen. Angela Nuccio. Grace O. Sonia Omar. Priya Patel. Ria Patel. Andrew Peterson. Alyssa Petco. Vivian Eleni Paropoulos. Tracy Q. Tanya Rojas. Ashley Sabu. Jana Saeed. Stephen Sanabria. Katie Sequin. Claire Shiflett. Sana Siddiqui. Imajiro Sandra Cito. Sajal Singla. Alador Sisai. Vlad Subach. Marissa Spatz. Amanda Statlander. Sarah Statzik. Kiara Stevenson. Brianna Studer. Kiana Swanson. Eliza Tariq. Madison Thurmond. Delara Tutunchi. Courtney Tran. Hung Trong. Jimmy Tu. Subaita Udin. Romana Vohora. Lauren Vanderryden. Hannah Wallach. Miriam Wasim. Amber White. Chandler Wolf. Leslie Wong. Samuel Yoon. Amy Zamaraya. Wendy Zhang. Thank you all for holding your applause. Now would be the time.
Good afternoon. I'm Diana Masalak, President of the ICO Student Association. Welcome to the White Coat Ceremony of the Class of 2025. On behalf of the student body, I'd like to congratulate the second-year class on their stunning success throughout their first year of optometry school. Us upperclassmen are continuously impressed with your growth, maturity, and positive attitude. We truly cannot wait to work with you more in clinicals. Second years, as you say the optometric oath this afternoon, consider what it means to begin your clinical education. You've made it through one of your densest years of didactic education. Congratulations on this, really. Now it's time to put it into practice. So if you look into your handouts this afternoon, take a look at the optometric oath and repeat these words after me. With full deliberation, I freely and solemnly pledge that I affirm that the health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously. And to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession. And the honor of the degree, Doctor of Optometry, which has been granted me. I will provide professional care for the diverse populations who seek my services. With concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will work to expand access to quality care and improve health equity for all communities. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain. And strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills. So that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow doctors of optometry and other professionals. For the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as a doctor of optometry. I will do my utmost to serve I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this, my solemn oath and obligation.
Now, you'll recite those words again in about 2 years and 9 months as part of the doctoral hooding ceremony. Of course, we all know there's a lot of work to do between now and then. We're excited to dive into it with you. You're going to have the support of everybody at ICO every step of the way, and we know you can do it. Congratulations, soon to be doctors. This will conclude our white coat ceremony. The final logistical item I have this afternoon is we'd like the newly coded class of 2025 members to have a chance to exit first. You're going to head out this door into the courtyard. We're going to do a class photograph, and then guests are welcome to head out into the courtyard to join shortly after. Thank you all for being here.